name is Elijah Miti, founder of Public Speaking Academy. And I'm sure you are here today watching this video because maybe you have some interest in knowing how to become a public speaker. I'm sure you need that, isn't it? Anyway, today I want to share with you a simple technique that we call stress-free speaker. Now, in this speaking industry, it's actually the most highly paid industry at the moment. I can give you an example of people like Bill Clinton, who earn about $750,000 to speak for only 90 minutes. There's also people like Andy Harrington in the UK. He's able to make $500,000 in a day speaking 90 minutes to a group of people in a live conference. I can also share my own experiences. I started public speaking in 2007, and over the years I have seen the power that is in this business. I remember one time when I was doing a book launch, I was able to actually make about $8,400 just speaking for 90 minutes. And I'm sure you can also do the same, and I can also do even better. Now, I want to share this speaking training because I have the passion to actually train 3,000 people to join this business. And if you are one of them, then you are tuned in to the right video. And I'm going to take you through. I'll be sending you 5 videos, and 4 videos will come through in the next couple of days on the speaking training. But today I just want us to go deep into the stress-free speaker. How do you become a stress-free speaker? Well, there is what we call system. So you need to actually learn this art in order for you to become a professional speaker, in order for you to become a speaker that is able to engage with the audience. In any form of business today, you need to be a good speaker. You need to be a good communicator, because business is about people. It's about communicating. The way you share your products will determine how many people buy your products. I'm also involved in book writing, and also I publish books for other authors. And what I've seen is once a book is produced, the problem that most authors have is selling the book. And when you know this art of speaking, you'll be able to communicate more with the new technologies. You'll be able to send videos out, which has become a very powerful tool these days. I mean, I'm just here recording with my phone, and you'll be able to watch this. It's not really like a professional studio setup where I am right now. I'm recording using a phone, this video. And what will be important in this is that you're able to get the message, you're able to get the training that I want you to actually get, and that's in public speaking or professional speaking. So it's important that you know these secrets for you to be a better speaker and a better communicator, because 85% of good communicators have good businesses. Now, let's go deep into the stress-free speaker. The first letter in this system is actually called state. You need to be in a state of mind that is ready to actually do your presentation, be it in a live audience, be it on television, be it in a training kind of setup, you need to have a mindset that is focused on what you're going to present. Most people, most speakers, even myself, before I actually do a presentation, I pray and focus and just ask for guidance from the Almighty. And some other people actually do some form of exercises just to raise up the energy, and some even use a vibrator just to, put themselves in a physiology that is ready to actually do the action of presenting. Because remember, when you are presenting, when you are speaking, the most important thing is your focus. You focus on your breathing. If you were to just do this and say, or as you're speaking, just put your hand in front of your mouth, you actually feel that the breath is coming out. So speaking involves breathing, and you need to know how to control your breathing. It's important, and that can only happen when you understand putting yourself in a state of presentation, in a state of speaking, that you are able to actually engage people with a focused mind, not a wandering kind of mind. The second thing that you need to know in this stress-free speaker system is yourself. You need to be yourself. Most people like actually imitating other people. They like modeling other people, which is not wrong. For instance, most people are actually have watched Tony Robbins and would want to speak like him or want to act like him, but you're not Tony Robbins. You can learn the techniques, but you need to be yourself. And when we talk of being yourself, it's your story. What is your story? What story can relate to the audience that you actually sharing your message to? Like for instance, you can share about your struggles. Like you can say what you passed through in your life and how you have transformed to be where you are now. That's being yourself. People will engage more when you tell a story. So it's important that you have your own story. In fact, in life, when you have a story, when you look at your life, what you have passed through and where you are today, that should be a story that should make you move forward. So it's important to be yourself, not somebody else. There's actually a saying that you can't ask someone to do your push-ups for you. You actually need to do the push-ups. So that's yourself. The other thing that we need to look at is the stance. You need to be in a stance that is able to show that you have command and authority. You know what you're talking about. And in speaking, we usually advise that your feet is facing straight, not like this, but it should be straight so that you have a kind of straight and commandful kind of structure, and then you should be in this state, which is also called the peripheral vision. Don't give, you can't be speaking to people this side and you're facing this way. That's not right. So you need to be in this kind of stance where your legs are facing the audience and your body is actually straight. You are in control, and when you do this, you are in control of your surrounding when you are in your peripheral state. And that's why it's important that you are in a good stance. Then the other thing is that your tonality needs to be clear. For instance, if you are telling people about your life, you need to show that emotion. You need to show that this is a sad story. Then as your story starts changing to maybe heading towards success, your tonality also should change. Like I would say, I was really passing through a really deep, struggling moment. And then, suddenly, my life changed. You can see there's a difference in the emotion, there's a difference in the tonality, because now you're moving from a negative state into a positive state. So tonality is very important in your speech. When you actually come through my training and my coaching program on speaking, I'll be able to go deeper into this tonality thing. There's what we call A, B, C, D up to Z, where you have to rhyme and move in that kind of pitch. So that's on tonality. Then of course the next one is eye contact, is direct to the people that are in the audience. For instance, you can have 8,000 people in your live audience, or you are training 8,000 people. What you need to do is apportion at least 8 seconds, look at one person on the right hand side, 8 seconds in the middle, another 8 seconds to the person on the left hand side, 8 seconds to someone at the back, 8 seconds at the back of the audience, and so on, so that when you are stressing a point, you are able to look into somebody's eyes. Like for instance, if you are sitting direct to me, I can look at you and say, you have a book inside you. There is potential in you. And then I can also look at somebody else on my right hand side and say, there is a dream that you have been putting on the shelves, but today it's getting rekindled. It's getting life. And then I can look to somebody else on this side and say, you are going to make it. As I look into their eyes, there is an engagement that starts to happen. There is a connection that happens. And the person, when that person goes back home, he or she will be able to say, he looked at me right in my eyes and said, you're gonna make it. That brings some form of energy. So it's very important that your eye contact is with the audience, not looking down or looking up. There are people who are presenting, you are looking on this side, you look up, you really need to look in the people's eyes. Then the last one is movement. Your movement on stage is very important. Like for instance, you can't just be moving like you are dancing. You need to be moving with style and in concert with what you are presenting. And you can't just be moving so fast, moving around. As you speak, you are just like fidgeting or like you're dancing. You need to be moving as you stress a point. Maybe you're going this way. As you stress a point, you're going that way. As you stress a point, you're coming that way. That's the way it should be. That's the way you should present. So you should make sure that your movement is correct. Now, to summarize the stress-free speaker, what you need, number one, is you need to be in a good state of mind. You're focusing on your breathing, you're focusing on your presentation. And number two, you need to be yourself whenever you are presenting. And number three, you need to be in a good stance. Stand right and not just scratching and touching everywhere. People concentrate on what you're doing and like what you're presenting. Then your tonality, you need to know how to control your tonality when you're stressing points. And then eye contact, always look in the eyes of the audience. Pick one person at a time as you are stressing out your points. And of course, movement. It's very important. Even the movement of your hands. You can't be presenting and you're busy scratching, touching, picking your nose and that kind of thing. You need to know this system. So, thank you so much for watching this first video on stress-free speaker and the system. And in the next video, I'll be able to share with you what we call content creator. How you create your content, how you sequence your content so that you do not actually bore people. You are engaging people all the time as you create your product and service. Thank you so much, and know this one thing. There is a book inside you crying out to be written and for you to become a professional speaker.